Hello and welcome. My name is Charles Atelu, Health Informatics Content Developer and Trainer with 10 years experience working for KenyaEMR project. In this video, I'm going to take you through completing Enhanced Adherence Screening Encounter. To access the Enhanced Adherence Screening Encounter, one has got to log in. Then from the home page, navigate to the clinician. It's only the clinician who is able to conduct enhanced adherence screening for patients who are already on treatment. Search for the patient. Our demo patient was known as training capacity building. You can either search using the name or ID, and up to 3 characters, a minimum of up to 3 characters will actually direct you to the patient. So our patient was training. Already the 3 characters has already narrowed down to our patient. So click on the patient to open up the patient homepage. And notice that this patient was already checked in at the triage level. Hence, checkout for visit button is visible. So our interest is to complete the adherence screening form. These are the available forms that are visible by the clinician only, because it's the clinician who has got the role and responsibilities of completing the said screening forms. So to open up the enhanced adherence screening form, click on the said enhanced adherence form. The form will appear. Notice that the date and the location have been pre-filled during check-in, so you don't need to complete the date and the location. Under the visit details panel, type in the number of session. This is our first session for the said client. Input the date from the calendar menu. Pill counts. Fill in the pill count adherence percentage. There is a formula for computing the pill count adherence percentage as displayed. For our case, the pill count adherence percentage for the patient was 98%. Kindly note that the pill count adherence percentage should be rounded off without any decimal points. The system does not accept numbers with decimal points. The next panel is the Moriski Medication Adherence Scale. Proceed to complete the Moriski Medication Adherence Scale 4 by filling the patient responses for the 4 questions. For example, the first one, the patient is directed to answer if they ever forgot to take their medicine. Select the respective radio button, yes or no. If any of the 4 questions have got a yes response, then Moriski 8 populates below. If all the responses are no, then the Moriski adherence score is automatically populated as good. If either of the responses is a yes, proceed to fill Moriski 8. Remember, these questions are directed to the patient. Fill in according to the patient's response by selecting yes or no. As you do so, the Moriski adherence score will be populating itself. Remember to complete the last question, number 8, by selecting the drop-down menu and selecting the option according to the patient response. Once done, Moriski Medication Adherence Score will automatically populate itself. Proceed to the next panel on viral load. These questions seeks to ascertain the patient understanding of the viral load scenario, if either high or suppressed. Inquire from the patient if they received the viral load result by selecting yes or no. If it's a yes, inquire from the patient if the viral load result was suppressed or unsuppressed, bearing in mind that anything greater than 1000 is unsuppressed and any copy results less than 1000 copies is suppressed. Depending on the outcome, inquire from the patient about their feeling concerning the result. Input the patient response on the adjacent text field. If the patient had got a high viral load, inquire from them what they think caused the high viral load and input the response on the adjacent text field. The last question on the viral load panel is on the way forward. Input the response on the adjacent text field. But for the option of a patient who has never received a viral load result, we'll close all the questions and there will be a way forward question which will definitely prompt the patient to have a repeat viral load done or a result remitted to the patient. Or a viral load should be repeated altogether if there is none. The next panel is on barriers to adherence. This assesses the possibility to barriers to adherence. We have cognitive barriers, behavioral barriers, emotional barriers, and socioeconomic barriers. Complete the text fields adjacent to all the questions across all categories, bearing in mind that some of the responses might be in a radio button option. Once done, proceed to the referrals and networks panel. Inquire from the patient if they have either been referred to any other service, that is nutrition, psychosocial support services, substance abuse treatment, or etc., other than attending the CCC clinic. Respond accordingly to yes or no. Inquire from the patient if they did attend to the appointment. Inquire from the patient what the experience was and if there is need for that to be reorganized. Ask the patient if they will benefit from a home visit. And lastly, complete the adherence plan on the adjacent text field. Once done, proceed to the appointments panel to give a follow-up date. Select it from the calendar menu. Once done, click Enter form to submit the adherence encounter form. Once submitted, the enhanced adherence screening form will be populated among the completed visit form by the clinician. This marks the end of the enhanced adherence screening encounter. In the next video, I will take you through alcohol and drug abuse screening encounter. Thank you.